Hi, it's a new month. As promised, I am back. I can honestly tell you I don't feel like it was enough time to take a break, but I promised to come back and here I am. And I have exciting new content for you in this month of November and December. Basically, my content is not going to be as educational as it has been. It's going to be more of a vlog series just to show you how I usually work. And for the month of November, I've actually already recorded what I am going to show you, because it's what I was doing during my off-camera time. I have changed a bit of the things I decided I'm going to show you. So I am going to just show you the process I go through when I'm making clothes for myself. And I'm just going to explain a lot about what I think about, what I do, and all that. And some of them are also going to be just a bit of step-by-step process of what I do, what I'm thinking about, and all that. It's all part of how I work when I'm creating new designs and when I'm testing designs before I give my clients clothes, specifically new designs. It's easier for me to test ready-to-wear designs and also just a completely new design concept. Maybe I was on Pinterest and I saw a sleeve I like or a collar I like or things like that. I will usually try to do that for myself and then before I present it to you guys. So you're going to see a lot of that. I hope you're excited. And today's video specifically, I wanted to share just a bit about things I've learned having a YouTube channel, because I get asked questions about YouTube once in a while, not all the time. I get more sewing questions than YouTube questions, but there are some people who are interested in starting YouTube channels, and I wanted to say just things they don't tell you about having a YouTube channel that I thought would be helpful. And at least for after my 1 year, I thought this is a good way to introduce myself back into your screens, whether it's a phone or a TV. Welcome new subscribers for all the people who've joined. Yeah, and I guess let's begin. So I will begin with what my first year of YouTube has been like. My first year of YouTube, as I explained in my 1-year anniversary video, was really filled with a lot of what kind of content can I create that I am happy with, and I ended up becoming a more educational platform than entertainment, so to speak. Educational more in the theoretical side of fashion more than the sewing practical side. And the reason I settled for that mostly is because there is very little education on fashion, how fashion is done, fashion business, just practical things about fashion. I found like that content is very minimal in our African or Kenyan context. So I thought that it would be wise to have that, even if later on I do decide to share some sewing tips and stuff like that, I will, but I don't think I will do tutorials. One of the reasons I will not do tutorials is because, one, it's very expensive. Another thing is, what am I going to do with all those clothes? Like, it doesn't even make sense to just keep making myself clothes. And I am very passionate about reducing waste, especially in fashion. I'm a very practical person, even with making myself clothes. I will always have clothes for special occasion, and I'll also have clothes for everyday wear. So I like to wear all my clothes. Clothes are not supposed to stay in my closet for very long without me wearing them. So for that reason, I would just make clothes for the sake of making clothes. So I will probably in the next year also experiment with different types of formats of how I'm going to do this channel. So just watch out for that. But yeah, that was one of my primary reasons. I was also just checking what's usually done and what is missing. My channel might not be the most popular because of the content I've chosen to do, and I'm not really the kind of person who just goes with the flow with everybody else just because everyone is going everywhere else. I just want it to be helpful, and I want the content I bring out to be useful to people, not just entertainment and all that. And the truth is, sewing tutorial videos are so many. In fact, one of these days I'm going to probably recommend top sewing tutorial channels that you should follow, because they help me and they might help you, so watch out for that in the future for sure. So there are certain things you need to know about starting a YouTube channel. You need to know the topic you are going to dwell on. Basically, it can be a certain niche subject. Let's say you like cars. Every episode doesn't have to be about car reviews. You can do performance about a car, you can do a vlog in your car, or how it feels when you're driving a car and all that. Of course, that's a very expensive example, but I'm just giving you an example. You can do it in different ways, which is also something I'm trying to explore with fashion. Just as I've said, fashion videos do not have to be about fashion shows and fashion reviews and tutorials. There is so much. Fashion is very wide and there's so much information that you can do on fashion. So for me, I'm also still trying to explore practical options, because I do not have the money to be able to do the other options that expect me to spend money to go somewhere and review this, to do that. Maybe one day in the future, when this channel has really grown, it will be worth exploring, and maybe I'll even be getting a press pass to do some of these things. But for now, I would rather spend this time, because I have more time now, to do the tutorials and all that, because it's also very intense. It takes a lot of time, and I would rather have that bank of information for everybody to just have access to, because it's very important, and then these other ones can come. So we'll just see how everything goes. So just have an idea of what you want to do with your channel. Watch videos, and especially on your niche, watch them, just see what people are doing. You might get ideas, you might have other ideas based on those ideas. Yeah, but be very practical and know your audience. Sometimes your audience will be formed by your content, and sometimes you can just target the audience and form content that appeals to them. For me, my videos actually appeal to me because I tend to watch a lot of information-based content. In fact, some of the things I like doing when I'm sewing is listening to documentaries, being on YouTube. Mostly, it's usually just there. People are talking and I'm sewing. So those are some of the things I like to do when I'm sewing. So I think it's very important to try and consume as much as possible your niche, so that you can also understand, and also just check what people really like watching in those kind of videos, especially if you're targeting people in your country. Then it really makes sense to also understand. I know Kenyans like entertainment, and I know most YouTube videos that do very well in Kenya are entertainment based, but I think eventually they will also want to learn and get information, and I'm sure these videos of mine will be very useful to some people more than others, but eventually people will appreciate them. Yeah, so niche. Another thing is, basically, depending on the reason why you started your channel in the first place, you need to have a strategy on how to get more subscribers. If you are really trying to get YouTube to become one of your income streams, you need to be very, really need to plan your content, and you really need to think about the kind of people you're targeting and how you're going to target them, even if it means taking ads and all that. I would advise that you don't do things that will be clickbait, so to speak, just doing things for shock value. People really resent that, and just try and create value for people. The truth is, sometimes it takes a very long time to grow your audience, and sometimes you can go viral and you end up with a lot of people. Sometimes you can even go viral and still end up with few subscribers. I have seen a lot of channels that have a lot of subscribers in the name of just getting people to subscribe for the sake of subscribing, and then their views are very, very low. So do watch out for what it is you want to do. Very many videos on YouTube on strategy for growth. Watch them. Some of them have very good information. Some of them, maybe the information is more practical for audiences in the West, but some of them could be very practical in our context. So I guess you know. Another thing to consider is editing your videos. I edit my own videos. The softwares I use are on the description box, probably at the bottom. and it took me 2 years to figure out the type of editing that I'm comfortable with. I was taught very fast, so a lot of things I had to learn by watching videos and stuff like that. I'm not saying I'm perfect at editing, but I just manage with what I have. So I also record on a professional camera. I don't use my phone, so my editing looks very different from someone who's starting out. I always had this camera. I bought it because I wanted to record my work process, so it's always I always use my camera to film. My phone camera is not even good, so I just decided I'd work with a professional camera. The camera is in the description as well, in case you want to see, you want to know what type it is. So another thing is, so you might consider hiring an editor to edit for you your videos. You could ask to see their work so that you can see their style. Maybe you like that style and you want to stick to their style, or you might have a style you like. I think for me, I like the idea of knowing what I like, so that I can, if I wanted to delegate it to somebody, I know exactly how I want it. I've seen, like, for me, I think it's a long process, because I've seen people outsource to remote workers and you never really meet your editors. So I don't know, I find that whole process so complicated, considering how long it takes to upload a video. I'm wondering how long it takes to upload a video to give somebody else remotely so that they can edit it and they send it back to you so that you can upload. I don't know if they have access to the channels, I don't know all that. Either way, you can hire an editor, you can learn how to edit yourself. Everything is a learning process. Take time to learn how to edit, make your videos appealing. I think don't just rush into it. I've seen people who have even weird angles of videos, or I've even seen people from big companies trying to show you products, videos, and the camera is zoomed out on all of them. Instead of focusing on the product, it's focusing on them opening the product, and you can barely see it. I really don't understand the point. But sometimes they were ill-advised, or the people who are recording them are also beginners. Just research and figure out these things. It's just helpful, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I'm just saying it's helpful because I'm also a YouTube consumer, and I know the kind of videos I watch. And I'm just saying also from an audience perspective that it's just good sometimes to work on your content, because it really helps also with the views. Another aspect of this whole thing is thinking about your thumbnails. You need to have very creative thumbnails. So your thumbnails can come from your video itself. Maybe there was a pose you did. Well, when you're uploading your video, you always see that space for thumbnails. I personally prefer to just upload a thumbnail. I know sometimes they look very clean cut and all that, but it's because of the type of videos I was doing that are very educational and stuff like that. So yeah, so just you can explore people who have explained more about thumbnails and how to make your thumbnails effective and all that. But thumbnails are usually a good way to draw people to watch your videos. And also, apart from thumbnails, YouTube has other features that can help you promote your content. You can use the YouTube Shorts, which are just 60-second or less videos that you can upload to promote your video, and those ones have more organic reach because it's still a new feature on YouTube. And recently YouTube have opened up the community tab to everyone who has a channel, so that means you can also alert your subscribers that you're about to upload your channel and engage with them just to create hype for your videos. So those are actually other things you can think about on YouTube, not just about your video. So yeah, I think the more I get into social media platforms and other platforms, the more features are added, the more you have to learn, the more you need to figure out, the more some things will take time to figure out. My advice is always be just do it, eventually it will work. And yeah, so I guess lastly I would say do write a script on what you will say. I do write I don't really write a script, I write pointers of what I will say, and then I plan I just talk, because sometimes the thing is in my head. If I write too many scripts, most of the time I forget. Actually, I used to write paragraphs of scripts and I just forget. As long as I have the point and I know what I wanted to say, I'll say it. Anyway, write a script if you have to. I've seen it's fine if you have to have your phone there and you read as you speak. For me personally, I just like to just speak, so having a script is very, very helpful. So I think that's it for me right now. I don't think I can give so much advice about how to grow your channel and how to make money from your channel. I have not reached there. There are very many other channels that have that, both Kenyan context and context of abroad, and I'm just telling you what it's been like for me, and that I'm also still learning, and I'm not necessarily like this expert pro. I'm just someone who started doing it, and trust me, I procrastinated for a while. Either way, I hope this has been helpful, and from next week I will start with I guess the first outfit. Thinking it might be this dress. So I'll see you next week, and thank you so much for watching till the end. Bye.